Hello everybody, it's Shako from the Squawk Squad, and today I need to talk about a new build that I made of Regis. I think it's better than what we have right now, or what I have right now. If someone has made something better, I can't really do anything about that, because obviously I'm just a YouTuber. I'm just here to do what I'm doing. So I need to obviously go into a deeper dive, because I feel like some people might have been playing this deck wrong. And yeah, so we're just gonna go over the cards. So what I've added new instead of Irida is I put in Cypher Maniac's Code Red. Or Cypher Maniac's Code Red. The reason why this isn't here is because you have 4 trekking shoes, a Rain Ninja, and a Squawkabilly. So you have so many ways to draw without using a supporter, where I feel like Cypher Maniacs to get any 2 cards and put them on top of your deck isn't really that big of a problem. And if you can't use it because you don't have any passive draw yet, you could just use a Professor's Research, but I think is also fine. So the idea with Cypher Maniac's Code Breaking is obviously to get Precious Trolley because it's only a 1-of. But any other pieces that you might need, like in areas you're under depths, or sometimes if you need something cool and you have things in your hand, you could like Trekking Shoes combo with this. You could put a Luminous Energy on top of your deck, and then underneath that a Precious Trolley. So you could Trekking Shoes, discard the Luminous Energy, and then you get the Precious Trolley, so you can have more access to those Luminous Energies, which can be hard to find sometimes. So yeah, that's why I put in the Cypher Maniac's Code Breaking, because I thought it was overall better than Irida, and Irida needed a couple more pieces than Cypher Maniacs in total. And I think Cypher Maniacs has a better synergy with Regis, because there are a lot of cards that you need to have, and sometimes Checkmate is really nice to have because Iono makes you struggle a little bit. Also, there's just so many like cards that you need, and I feel like Irida only giving you 1 item compared to Cypher Maniac getting you 2 of literally anything that you need is fine. But overall, Cypher Maniacs is also a lot better when you don't have Precious Trolley, because all these Regis, you can just put them on top of your deck and then just draw them off, right? And that's why I think it's so much more important to understand the Cypher Maniac is really good. So I'm just gonna go over the cards. So Regieleki, this is really good in control. It's like a really big tool to control. Overall, you're using Electromagnetic Sonar to like get your switches and stuff back. But Targeted Bolt also isn't that bad of an attack either. If you don't have access to a different like sniper, like Radiant Greninja, and Regieleki's good, then go ahead and use it. Like, you shouldn't be scared to use it. It also combos with Regijago. If you're trying to kill a V-Star and they retreat onto the bench with Regijago, you can also Regieleki and like kill that with Targeted Bolt. Or for in case you're playing against Goldengo, they retreat their Goldengo EX, you can just kill it with Regieleki if you want to damage it with Regijago. Next up we have Regirock. Regirock is just a really strong attacker into Miraidon. Miraidon is really popular right now, so I don't understand why you play the rest of them to Regirock. You also just need the fighting energy to be attacking Miraidon as well. Blood Moon Saloon is still a threat that exists. So yeah, I think Regirock is still really good. You can be able to kill the other fighting weak Pokemon, which there are a couple of. Regirock, it's an okay attacker now, because you can use grass and stuff, and Giant Fang is not that bad of an attack, but Dragon Sword is used a bit more because you can be thinning your hand down with a couple more cards, and I think Dragon Sword is still just a good ability overall, because draw is never bad. Regigigas Ancient Wisdom, that's about it. It's not very special. It does 150 damage. It's just pretty basic, even though it's literally the core of our deck. It doesn't do much besides it's accelerating energies. The thing you can do importantly with this is if you can spare a bench space somehow, you can double Regigigas, and that gives you really good board states. By just having anything retreat, I feel like that's just crazy to have when you have double Regigigas, and yeah, I think that's just amazing to think of. Regis, Blizzard Bind. This Blizzard Bind attack has won me a couple of games against Regijago, simply because of the fact that they don't think about it. And so once they've used and exhausted the resources, I've realized, oh yeah, Blizzard Bind just wins me the game here. And whether it's from decking out or just chipping at it, it still wins games. Next up we have Registeel. Heavy Slam still isn't that bad. Latios, EX does make some decks an easier matchup because of Registeel. But yeah, most of the time you do want to be attacking with Pikachu EX when you could attack with Registeel. Pikachu EX, obviously the star of the deck, besides Regigigas, and just the Resolute Heart ability is insane to have on a Terra Pokemon, even if you're not attacking with it. It does still activate Area 0 under depth, but the 300 damage is not something you can scoff at, because we play the energies to support it, and our own Regis. So it's just insane synergy between the entire all of the Pokemon and the entire deck in total. And 300 damage is just an insane amount of things to do. You can like turn 1 KO anything, but you don't always get the turn 1, and I don't think that's something to be frustrated with, especially when you have Cypher Maniac. I feel like this can set up games turn 2. You still are going second always, but Cypher Maniac doesn't secure you like a turn 1 attack. It does help you a lot in setting up in general though, and it does make the turn 2 attack feel a lot more fresh without exhausting your entire hand, and like you don't have anything else to do after that turn. Next up we have Radiant Greninja. This is so good. Just within Regis, Radiant Greninja is so good. I would never cut this ever. Iron Hands, thank you very much. It's just a strong attack. I feel like it's just too good not to have. Although like you find it rare to use, but it's really nice to have in those niche scenarios anyways. So yeah. Squawkabilly EX. You're always using Squawkabilly unless you're playing against Iron Thorns. You're just always using Squawkabilly EX. It's just still a really good support Pokemon, and I think it always will be. Professor's Research, pretty basic, draw 7. I don't think we would swap it out for anything. I wouldn't even cut this number, because having all of the Professor's Research in the world at like access, I think is really important. Buster's Orders, and Kieran. Kieran is really good in the control matchup because Aerie is not able to do things to Kieran that it can to our Switch cards. And Kieran is recyclable as it is a trainer card, and Regieleki can just use electromagnetic sonar to get it back, and control decks like Block Lax especially can't really deal with enough with Kieran. For Earth and Vessel, I tried to go really good with consistency for these two. Chucky Shoes is just really good, and it synergizes with Cypher Maniac's code breaking a lot. And the way the combo is supposed to work, I told you before, but there are things you can just get off the top of your deck because Cypher Maniac does that for you. But Earth and Vessel, we play 4 of these to thin out our deck as much as possible so we can draw into what we want, and also just get our energies so we can strive for that turn 1 attack. For Ultra Ball, I decided to just get rid of Nest Ball completely. I think Ultra Ball is the way to go because you're discarding stuff from your hand to be able to use Dragon Sword, and also discard the energies from your hand as well. I could see maybe 1 Nest Ball in here, or a couple Nest Ball, but I think Ultra Ball is really good. Definitely if you're playing a thicker line of just balls in general, you can do that, but I feel like this build is pretty good. You can even play a 2-2, I see, but I feel like just discarding the energy is really important, and sometimes being able to draw off that Dragon Sword is really nice as well. Next up we have Super Rod. I play through Super Rod because I feel comfortable with it. I can see you playing 3 Night Stretcher, but I feel comfortable through Super Rod because I just get to get my boys back. Yeah. 2 Switch card. I will always play 2 Switch card. I don't think there's any case where I would play 0 Switch card, 1 Switch card, because I don't think Latias works well in Regis, and neither does Pheasantipede, which I see a lot of people playing. Obviously Pheasantipede is played in every single deck, but Pheasantipede doesn't help that much with Regis when you really think about it, and neither does Latias EX. Even having Free Retreat is still nice, but I like having a good matchup spread into multiple other decks instead of just into a few, because my Switch cards matter a lot in some of the matchups. Also just getting the turn 1 attack a bit more consistently. I feel like having Squawkabilly and Pikachu EX, gives you one more bench slot, so there's no way I'm putting down a Lottie SDX. That doesn't even attack properly for me. If I need to put down a Radiant Greninja, I will, and I won't have space for a Lottie SDX. Heavy Ball, you will always play 2. You have these 2 guys, and sometimes both of one of the Regis gets prized. You want to be able to win those games where that happens, and one Heavy Ball will not be able to do that for you, because you just simply won't run into it, which is a really bad problem. Next up we have Precious Trolley. I think this is the best spec. I don't think anybody disagrees with that. Next up we have Palpad. I think just shuffling back your supporters are good, like these 2 especially. I wouldn't see myself taking this out because you don't need these guys to win all the time, but they're definitely strong, and I feel like I'd rather shuffle them than run into them if I played an increased amount of Voss or Kieran. Yeah. For Area 0, I'm not cutting down anymore. You don't run into Area 0 enough. Even though you're using Cypher's Code Breaking, you might have an Area 0 in hand that you could just put down, and you need a different combo piece to just get the deck moving. And overall, I think this is the proper like energy count. I could see maybe cutting something that I don't see here. To add one more of some of these. Maybe not this one, because this one is like useful in some matchups. So yeah, I think I want to give you some tricks though. You do always want to go second, because it's not like you're always getting the turn 1 attack, but going second just provides you with the tools you need to be setting up, period. And by the point you're set up, everything is so strong that your opponent can't really beat you in the first place. Obviously you will lose. That's just the point of playing the game. But yeah, this is a really strong deck with the Cypher Maniacs, and I think people needed to know about this new build, because I've seen a lot of success with it, and I think it feels better than the Urine build, in my opinion.